there, Diana from Adirondack Girl at Heart. I love teaching antique lovers about buying and selling vintage and antiques and creating their own successful businesses. One of the ways I do that is through these videos, and I'm so glad you could join me here today. I want to focus on sewing notions and sewing related vintage and antiques today. I've been buying quite a few lately. I found that they sell well, especially on Etsy and eBay when I group them together in little collections. Or if I have a single piece that's really valuable, then I will often sell it on eBay where they do very well. Let's take a look at some of the things that I found. I bought a small box of vintage lace and trim at a recent garage sale for $2. So this beautiful trim was in that box. I don't know how many yards. This could be like maybe 10 yards. And I will, I could sell this in a bundle with some of the other lace that I found, which I'll show you in a minute. I feel like I'm gonna list this on eBay or Etsy for about $20 or $30. That's my feeling at the moment. This was also in the box. Isn't that cool? All the work that went into that. And I think there's about 3 or 4 yards in this little bundle. And so $15 or $20 for that. Here's a smaller piece that I will probably group together with some other. I feel like this was maybe a trim on a pillowcase, that sort of thing, but just really pretty little floral design there. And then in the box was this large bunch that I'm going to detangle and wrap around maybe an old spool, that sort of thing. And so not really sure, again, a lot of yards there. 10 yards maybe. And then there are a few little bits that were also in the box. So pretty good return on a $2 box. And then here's the final piece from that box. I'm not sure what that was for, but it's very pretty. And probably sell it for $2 or $3 from my antique booth. So that was the box of trim and lace. Crocheted, most of that is crocheted. And I picked up this piece of fabric that just made me think of grain sack. That was $1. There's about a yard there, probably for a project of some kind. Just too good to pass up. Nice and nubby. Now, many of you know that I have a project on my website using vintage patterns. It's the cutest bookmarks you've ever seen, and I sell them. I've been selling them for about 2 years now at a Christmas craft show that I do every year, and I use these vintage patterns to create them. So from this one pattern I can make 3 bookmarks. These were 6 for $1 at an estate sale. I just love this. These 1950s, 1960s looks. Again, 3. I use all parts of the pattern, but one main figure on each bookmark, and I will link to that below. There's a larger one. So this will make 5 bookmarks. Now, if you want, you can try to sell these on eBay or Etsy. From my point of view, it's not really worth the time and effort of photographing them and listing them and then shipping them to make $5 or $10, depending on the pattern. Now, I have bought recently a number of costume patterns for Halloween and cosplays, that sort of thing. I think I'm going to, they tend to sell for more, and I may just bundle them all together and sell them for one money. And then there's the last. Cute. So that'll make two bookmarks. So that's the patterns. I also bought a bag of buttons for $2. And what I like to do with these, besides craft, which I do craft with them, make a number of projects on my website related to buttons, and I'll link to them. But I also like to fill a pretty antique jar with them and then sell as is. This would sell for about $18 to $22. So that's worth it for $2. That could fill 2 smaller containers or maybe 1 larger. And then I bought another bunch of buttons at a garage sale recently. And so here's a few that I will use for a Christmas project. It's a vintage thread little decoration with bottle brush trees, and I use the buttons to accent them. This was in the same set. I use these tiny white mother of pearls buttons for the same project. And then these are some that I pulled out that I will likely put in little bags and sell from my antique booth for about $1. The nicest or the most interesting bunch is actually a pair. These 2 rectangular mother of pearl buttons. And I will probably add them to other mother of pearl buttons that I have and sell them. Probably on Etsy or eBay. So that was that for the buttons. I picked up some thread, and I have a collector's guide part 1 and part 2 on vintage buttons, and I will link to those articles below. I also have an article on vintage thread, and these are all silk thread. And so they sell well separately. Some seamstresses are interested in them, but also fly tyers. That's people who fly fish and make their own flies. They like to use silk thread. So I've sold bundles about this size on eBay for about $12 to $15. Ooh, I forgot to show you the most beautiful buttons from that $2. This is the $2 bunch. I showed you these. Well, these are pretty amazing rhinestone buttons. They were in the same bag. So I'm not sure what those will run. I will probably put this pair with the previous pair, because it's the same pattern, for maybe $10 to $12 on Etsy, something like that. These 2 are each missing 1 rhinestone. I do have a whole bunch of rhinestones I use to make little minor repairs like that. So those were in the $2 bag of buttons also. And one really cool fact is this textbook, Homemaking for Teenagers. Love that cover. It's just so, I don't know, just catches your attention, right? And those outfits. So this is a homemaking book too, and it's really detailed stuff, like all about your house and how to decorate your house and that sort of thing. When I took home ec, I learned how to bake brownies and how to sew. And so this also has a whole section on your wardrobe, and in the wardrobe section it has a little bit of sewing. So that's why I added it to today's video. And then the last section in the book is about food. And there's some more sewing. So it cost $1. It smells very strongly of must. It smells very musty. I have an article on my website about how to take care of that, and I'll link to that below. And a couple more finds. This bag of trim, ribbon, thread, that sort of thing, cost $2 at an estate sale, and it's got some really, really cool things in it. This is like an embroidery or a cord. It's not thread. It's thicker than thread. Another one in red, and I would keep this, except I already have a couple. Something like this should sell for about $10 to $12 on Etsy. And these others I will likely sell for my antique booth. This is jute, but in a cool little cardboard spool. And then this is very silky satiny cord. And I like to, if I can, put a pair of scissors in like that and then sell it. This would sell for maybe $12 to $15 like that in a little set. Here is a recent bunch of cord and thread that I picked up and then put in this beech nut coffee tin, and you can see how the scissors fit right inside there. And so I would sell something like that for about $12 to $15, which is a good return on your money when you pick up scissors for $1 and thread or cord for even less than that when you can find it in nice big bunches. So that's it for sewing notions today. I hope you enjoyed seeing them. I do have an article that links over 20 of my sewing related articles together, and I will link to that also below. Thanks so much for joining me, and as always, happy hunting.